Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin. Ortiz continued his glorious boxing career in a big way in an explosive fight against Charles Martin with a series of devastating punches at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, Florida, U.S. Combo number 1. Ortiz managed a huge comeback as the bell rang for the 6th round. Ortiz unleashed a series of brutal punches that created great combinations. The first was a devastating left hook that left Martin staggering and unable to stand. Dazed, Martin fell into the ropes. Once out of the ropes, Martin had no idea where he was so stunned. Combo number 2. After delivering that first thunderous combo, Ortiz went on to land body shots and then combinations to the head. King Kong's big and powerful fist continuously rushed into Martin's stomach, making him even more dazed and stunned. Another overhand shot had Martin down again, and the referee had no choice but to call the fight. This victory helped Kingkong Ortiz get 2022 off to an explosive start.
Big right hand, left hand again, body attack by Ortiz. Ortiz knows how to finish and fight this round. A lot of time left.
Luis Ortiz versus Bryant Jennings. Ortiz and Jennings capped HBO's year with an entertaining heavyweight battle at the Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York in the U.S. Combo number 1. Jennings has always been proud of his boxing career, but when it came to his fight against Luis Ortiz, he was in real danger thanks to King Kong's thudding blows in the first round. Ortiz's 2 violent fists came out quickly, lightning fast, and showed no stopping. King Kong had rocked Jennings with consecutive shots straight to his head and face, leaving him unable to respond. Jennings could not do anything but hold his head with both hands and the look of pain on his face. Combo number 2, Jennings bounced back nicely in the following rounds, but ultimately he couldn't evade Ortiz's knockout punch in round 7. A left uppercut sends Jennings face down to the canvas. Jennings got up on wobbly legs and was nailed with some follow-ups that knocked him off balance, and that prompted referee Dick Pekotsky to wave the bout off at 2:41 of round 7. The punch dropped Jennings for the first time in the American's career. Ortiz versus Daniel Mart. Ortiz knocked Martz out with a big left to the head for the knockdown in round 2 in a brutal fight at Park Racetrack, Hialeah, Florida, U.S. A series of punches were thrown at Martz's stomach. Punches with lightning speed and brutality left Martz numb and looking like a punching bag. Right after that, a hook to the jaw put Martz face first on the canvas, and he was too badly hurt to get back up and continue fighting. The match was stopped 43 seconds into the 2nd round.
Impressive. Over. Deontay Wilder. Over Daniel Martz. And he's calling out Deontay Wilder.
Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder 2.
He was right in the position he's in right there.
After the 2018 match, Kingkong Luis Ortiz made it difficult for bronze bomber Deontay Wilder in the rematch at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. In the 4th round, Ortiz took the initiative against Wilder. The Cuban boxer delivered many accurate hits onto Wilder, the first being a brutal left hook straight to the head, stunning Wilder, forcing him to take defense. Right after that, 3 consecutive left hooks, rushing into Wilder's face, making him momentarily paralyzed. The bronze bomber could only cover his head with his hands and had no options for counterattack.
And here you see Ortiz step into the body, throwing his great left hand to the body. And this is
It's Ortiz versus Byron Polly. After a 9-month suspension, Ortiz fought at the Bell Center in Montreal, Canada, against 35-year-old American Byron Polly. After a combined punch of both hands reaching the face, King Kong continued to corner Polly and trap him in the corner.
Really working the stomach.
He then used his right hand to trick Polly, and his left hand lunged forward to put a brutal left hook, putting him on the floor with a pained expression on his face. This combo hook helped Ortiz win a TKO at 2:38 of the first round.
Number 2, Ruiz Ortiz versus Malik Scott. On November 12, 2016, Ruiz Ortiz had an encounter with Malik Scott. He defeated Malik and won a 12-round decision. The 37-year-old southpaw boxer-puncher has world-class speed, power, and technique. He is regarded as one of the top big men in the sport, capable of winning the heavyweight championship, which is why the Scott fight was televised on Sky Sports in the UK and on HBO in the US. But his ring-cutting ability isn't among his better attributes. But Ortiz stalked Scott behind a steady jab to the body and head, scoring awkward knockdowns off his vaunted left hand in rounds 4, 5, and 9, courtesy of a body shot. But he was unable to corner and put Scott away. He was effective but unspectacular. He soundly beat Scott, but was unable to hurt him. Through a translator, Ortiz said, "I came to fight, and he came to run." He was so negative that he made it hard to make it a good fight. Everyone came to see a show, to see a fight, a brawl, and he didn't want that, which is sad. In the end, Ortiz won by scores of 120 to 105, 120 to 106, and 119 to 106 on the judges' scorecards. Number 3, Ruiz Ortiz versus Alexander Flores. The biggest question heading into this main event, Tilt versus Alexander Flores, was how Ruiz Ortiz would look after being out of action for nearly a year following a second knockout loss to Deontay Wilder. At the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles on November 7, 2020, Ortiz appeared to not miss a beat as he scored a rather particular 45-second knockout over Flores at Microsoft Theater. Ortiz landed a right hand on Flores' body, but Flores fell awkwardly to the canvas. Flores reached his feet, but he seemed to favor his right leg. Referee Thomas Taylor quickly put his arms around Flores and stopped their scheduled 10-rounder just 45 seconds into it. Fox aired Ortiz's weird win as the main event of a 4-fight telecast from the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. Ortiz closed quickly on Flores and threw 3 punches, most of which were blocked. In the finishing sequence, Ortiz appeared to land a shot to the body, but Flores crumbled to the mat and could not continue after an Ortiz right hand landed on Flores' left arm. In the broadcast, it was reported that Flores had an injured eye. Replays showed Ortiz's right forearm landed on Flores' head in the final blow.
Ruiz versus Joshua Part 1, 2019. On June 1st, Ruiz defeats Joshua by TKO in the 7th round, capturing the unified WBA, Super, IBF, WBO, and IBO titles. The first 2 rounds of the fight relatively slow, with both men feeling each other out. But in the 3rd round, Joshua knocked Ruiz to the canvas, and Ruiz rose to his feet and quickly continued to attack. The Mexican responded with a succession of heavy punches. Joshua was then caught off guard by a left hook to the temple, which visibly staggered him, after which Ruiz knocked him down and left him to remain on defensive. Just before the end of round 3, Ruiz again managed to feel a disoriented Joshua after forcing him into the corner and unleashing a series of power punches. Rounds 4 through 6 consisted of minor exchanges between Ruiz and Joshua. And in round 7, Ruiz knocked Joshua down again with a short sequence of heavy blows. Joshua managed to get back on his feet before being floored for a 4th and final time.
Here we go, and Andy Ruiz is going to go for it.
Almost immediately after hitting the canvas, Joshua spat out his mouthpiece before rising and turned away from the referee and walked somewhat unsteadily back to his corner. With his arms resting on the ropes, Joshua was disoriented and in pain. The referee subsequently awards Ruiz a 7th round TKO victory, making him the first Mexican-American and second Hispanic heavyweight champion in boxing history after John Ruiz.
Somehow staying on his feet. No idea how.
Ruiz and Chris Arreola.
That's a good point. December 7th, 2019, the last time in the ring, and again, he was terribly out of shape. And
Round 1 combos. From the first round, Ruiz started pressing and returning with brutal combinations. He opens the combo with a quick hand hard punch with his right hand. After that, with swift hands, he landed a series of 3 sharp jabs right in a row to the head and face.
Joshua was just trying to get that win. Wow, hard.
This leaves Arreola dizzy and out of control. He then lunges towards his opponent and releases a quick and precise left hand attack to the face, causing him to fall back. Round 3 combos. In the thrilling minutes of the 3rd round, Ruiz uses a combination to drive Arreola back against the ropes. The Destroyer's hands move continuously and launch 4 hooks in a row. Ruiz's thunderous punches go straight to the head and face, leaving Arreola stunned and dazed. This was an epic, obliterating combination.
Caught there by Ruiz, able to land with the right hand. Arreola landed with his own right hand.
Round 10 combos. Ruiz again lights up Arreola with great combinations. He initiated the combos with a left hook straight to the face, then a right hook to the head.
So, again, Ruiz is shown to be
that had Arreola unable to raise his head. Next is a left hook into the neck with tremendous power, causing the opponent's head to tilt to one side. And finally, a direct shot to the forehead, causing Arreola to keel over backward. Ruiz's great combination stopped the opponent, who now had dull eyes and a blank face. Round 11 combos. Ruiz was a formidable opponent with 3 devastating punches right in a row. It starts with a left hook to the jaw, followed by a furious right hook, and it put the opponent's head down. He threw another powerful left into the ear, causing the opponent's head to flip to the side with a resounding crack. This combination helped Ruiz show his respectable class and strength.
but it's not quite the same.
Andy Ruiz versus Devin Vargas, March 10th, 2018. In the first minute of the first half, Andy Ruiz confirmed his class with a knockout of Vargas in a very neat and accurate way. He landed a big right to the temple of Vargas, causing the opponent to stagger and fall into the ring without resistance. Referee Thomas Taylor called off the fight. Ruiz showed good power and speed during the short fight. Next, it's Andy Ruiz versus Josh Gormley, July 16th, 2016. In a match against Josh Gormley, the Destroyer launched a thunderous right hook in an extremely fast speed, like a rocket loaded with fuel that sped off the ground. There were dozens of punches in a row, precisely causing Gormley to collapse on the ropes before lying on the floor. The referee decided to stop the match in front of Ruiz's blood in 1.42 minutes. Next, it's Andy Ruiz versus Kenny Lemos, October 25th, 2014. About a minute into the round, he dropped him to one knee with a right hand to the head. About a minute later, Ruiz backed Lemos into the corner, unleashing a heavy barrage of punches. While Lemos was not visibly hurt, referee Dan Stell saw enough and waved the fight over at 2:18. Next, it's Ruiz versus Manuel Quezada, May 17th, 2014. The match between Ruiz and Quezada also satisfied Khan's eye with a consecutive thunderous punch by Ruiz.
Totalmente de acuerdo.
Along with the strong and accurate punches, the destroyer knocked out the opponent immediately, causing Quezada to kneel on the floor with a bloodied and lethargic face.
Pero si les parece, vamos a revisar un poco, señores, señores. Cuando hay caída nuevamente. Visita.
The game ended quickly in the second minute of the second half. Next, it's Ruiz versus Joe Hanks, July 27th, 2013. In the fourth round, Ruiz struck suddenly with a right hand that caught Hanks totally by surprise, followed by a left that sent the big man down to the canvas, timber style.
Lunging at him with that left hook. Oh, tremendous left hook by Reed Flattens.
The referee got to the count of 9 3/4, if you will, but that's not 10, so he didn't count Hanks out there. Hanks was done moments later, though, as Ruiz jumped on him again and put him down immediately, finishing the fight at 1:41 of the fourth round.
But Rafael Ramos caught it. There's another good left by Hanks, but then a good left to the head by Andy Ruiz, and Ruiz now.
Next, it's Ruiz versus Matthew Greer, March 16th, 2013. In the early minutes of the first half, Ruiz showed more of his advantages like strength and speed. With a strong attack and head and face, Ruiz stunned Greer, paralyzed, and fell back to the floor. The undefeated Ruiz notched his 18th win and 12th career knockout victory at the 2:53 mark of the first half and did not give the opponent a chance to counteract. Next, it's Ruiz versus Marenzo Smith, September 2012. From the first minute of the first half, Ruiz showed his advantage in speed and power and was superior to Smith. By 2:11, Ruiz had repeatedly delivered precise blows to the head and face, causing Smith to stagger, looming over Ruiz before falling backwards into the ring. Next, it's Andy Ruiz versus Ken Frank, September 17th, 2011. In a match against Ken Frank in 2011, Andy Ruiz showed his strength through punches in the second half of the match.
Doesn't have a lot of an answer right here. No, Ruiz knows it. He's just trying to.
Ruiz landed 3 consecutive punches to Frank's head and face at lightning speed. Andy Ruiz versus Alexander Dimitrienko. An accurate and quick combination was unleashed by Ruiz in the last seconds of the third round. A direct left-hand jab goes right to the opponent's face, and Dimitrienko is lucky he can keep his teeth with that one. Next, Ruiz delivers 2 devastating jabs to the jaw and head and immediately makes his opponent lethargic, lowering his face to defend. Ruiz continued to pursue and landed a wild, violent right-hand punch to the body. What a genuinely horrifying combo. Andy Ruiz versus Tor Hamer, 2013.
Tercero sobre la superficie, es una pelea en la división de los pesados y un mexicano ahí lanzando la combinación.
Round 1. The Mexican heavyweight shows off his fast hands and punching power, but not early on. Ruiz took some solid shots from Hamer in the first 6 minutes of the bout. Hamer appeared to control distance well, and his jab straight right combination was effective.
a este Thor Hammer y por supuesto.
Round 3. Ruiz comes forward and whacks Hamer with hard combinations. He backs him into the ropes and lands 2 hard lefts to the midsection. When the second one landed, the look on Hamer's face was dazed and a little humorous. The fight was stopped after the 3rd round when Hamer indicated he did not wish to continue because it had become too painful.